which is great because I'm new here and I don't really know what's going on, so I have lots of questions. But before we get into our interview for today, I'm just gonna let you guys know that coming up on April 5th, we have Wrestle Craze at the First Met Fellowship Hall here in Victoria. And of course, you can get tickets for that show and all of our shows on 365prowrestling.com. And of course, if you're here on YouTube, that means you've already found our YouTube channel, so like and subscribe. But you can definitely check us out everywhere else that you find your fine social media interaction. All right, so without further ado, I would like to introduce you to one of my favorites here at 365 Pro Wrestling. We have got Ref Ronnie. How are you, Ref Ronnie?
Good, how are you?
I'm excellent. I'm so happy you're here. I don't know if you know this or not, but you actually refed the very first 365 Pro Wrestling match that I ever watched.
Oh, wow.
It was you. And I was like, I was sold. I'll tell you. The wrestlers, but also the refs, right? This is what I'm saying. So you've been with 365 for a while now. You trained out in Campbell River at the 365 Pro Wrestling Academy. Check it out. Information on the website as well. So I have a bunch of questions. You have fans. I'm a fan, for sure, and we would like to just know a little more about you, and you're kind of a mysterious, kind of silent and quiet character, a strong silent type, but everybody just really wants to know more about you. So are you ready to open up to me and all your fans out there?
Sure.
Okay, all right. That's a ringing endorsement. This is so exciting. Okay, so my very first question. We're here on Vancouver Island right now. Are you originally from the island?
No.
No, where are you from?
I'm from the mainland.
From the mainland.
Yes.
That's what we islanders call the other part of Canada that's not the island. So the mainland, right on. So like BC or further east?
Abbotsford, BC.
Abbotsford. Awesome, awesome. I'm from Calgary. I don't know if you know that. But it's not really about me. It's about Ronnie. Okay, so what do you do when you aren't wrestling? How do you spend your time? Or reffing, rather.
Usually just staying at home, starting to work on my fitness.
Yeah?
And, yeah, just daily tasks around the house. I work my other job. I work in a warehouse, so other than that, it's...
Well, that must work your muscles out pretty good. Sounds like it's a pretty physical job.
Yep.
Like reffing, right? Reffing is like super physical. Like, you know, you're rolling around on the mat and sometimes actually coming into physical contact with the wrestlers.
Sometimes,
so
yeah.
So what do you do to get physically prepared for that?
Burpees.
Burpees. I hate burpees. Burpees are the worst, but they're also the best, right?
No, they're terrible.
No, yeah.
No, I don't like them.
No.
But it's part of the job, so.
Yeah. Burpees are definitely part of the job. Do you do burpees like in the wrestling ring, or do you just do them like in the gym?
Just whenever I can.
Just whenever?
Yeah.
So like before a match, would you ever like drop some burpees down before the...
Probably not.
No?
I don't
Okay.
want to get too tired before of a match.
That's fair. That's fair. But not even unless it was like a show.
It's generally just in training.
Okay,
Like just,
fair. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, all right. I'm new here. I don't know,
Yes.
so I have to ask.
Very
yeah.
new, Karen.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's true. So did you, when you were like a little kid, were you like, I want to be a referee for wrestling?
No, not really.
When did it come upon you?
I wanted to be a wrestler first, but after watching a few matches and training in that aspect, it's a tough gig. It is a very tough gig, and it's for the strong of heart, definitely.
Indeed.
But I found reffing as a good segue, I guess, instead of being a wrestler.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, well, you're definitely up close and personal with those guys in the ring, so you are 100% part of the action. So think back to your training in Campbell River. Can you tell me like the worst and the best parts about your training?
I would probably say the cardio was probably the worst part, and the best part was probably meeting all of the other wrestlers.
Awesome. So how many people were training out there when you were there?
Around a dozen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So tell me a little bit more about the cardio. Were there lots of burpees?
Somewhat, no. It's just a lot of running around the ring and learning move sets in and out of the ring. Because you need to be pretty physically fit.
I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine. I don't think I could do it personally, but yeah, I have a lot of respect for those who can, have that level of endurance in the ring for sure, whether you're a wrestler or a ref. Because you guys work up a sweat. I see you sweating up there. It's not easy. So, have you ever suffered a roughing related injury?
A few weeks back, I was slamming the mat pretty hard. I was really into the match. It was going either bouncing back and forth, and I was really into it, and I sprained my hand a little bit.
Oh no!
Slamming the mat a few times, yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. Did you have to wrap it up in a tensor bandage or anything?
No, just some Tylenol and
that was
try and stay off it.
That's good. That's that's good. You didn't have to do any physio or anything.
No.
And that's the worst one?
That probably is the worst one.
Well, that's good. So, because I think it could get a whole lot worse than that, right?
It could.
What's the worst injury you've ever heard of from a ref?
From a ref?
Yeah, like an injury that another ref has sustained. You can just make something up. It's fine.
No, I think mine is probably the worst injury I've seen.
The hand slapping? Yeah. Okay.
Sprained it a bit. It hurt.
Yeah. Was it a little bit of swelling maybe?
A little bit.
Localized discomfort? Well, that's well. I'm glad. So you're coming back from that.
Oh
though.
yeah.
So
I'm 100%.
You're 100% back, so we don't have to worry about that keeping you from,
Nope.
being a ref in the future. Now we're back to 100%. That's good. I'm really happy about that because 365 wrestling just would not be the same without Ref Ronnie for sure. At least in my opinion.
Thanks, Karen.
You're welcome. Who is your favorite 365 wrestler to watch?
To watch? We do have quite a bit of talent.
Yes, we do.
And it's hard to choose anybody. Everyone's fun to watch.
Yeah. They do put on a great show. I mean, it is unbelievable.
I honestly, I can't pick and choose which one. They're all amazing. So
I love that. I love that you're being diplomatic, and I also suspect maybe a little bit if you might be worried if you show too much favoritism that maybe that might reflect negatively on you.
Someone could come back, so I don't know.
I get that. I would not want to get on the wrong side of these guys either. So I'm with you there. So this might be easier to answer though. Can you think back, what was your toughest match to referee?
Toughest match?
Was there
I think the one that probably took the most wind out of me was back in Richmond in November.
Okay.
The match between Nicole Matthews and Coco Flash.
Whoa.
That one had a lot of running around and a lot of cardio for sure for that one.
Amazing. Was it a long match?
It was a long match, yeah. And there was a lot of holds having me going up and down, where the burpees come in.
Ah, yes.
Right.
Oh, now I'm putting it all together. That is awesome. Well, that does sound tough. What about Do you ever participate, or have you ever reffed in any of the matches where there's like, I don't know, weapons of some kind, or doors or ladders or anything like that?
Of course. I was luckily enough, yeah, to ref a few matches that had some weapons in it. I think one notably I would have to say the Whistlemania.
Oh yeah.
Whistlemania was pretty fun, and there was some pretty gnarly things happening at the end there.
Oh yeah.
You'll have to check that out, though.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna check that out, because if you think it was gnarly, then yeah, I definitely want to see that for sure. Whistlemania. So that's here in Victoria, right?
Correct.
Down at Market Square, is that right?
Correct.
And so what time of the year does that happen? When was that last year?
I believe it was June or July.
Nice.
It's usually during the summer.
The summertime?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like something I'd love to check out this summer, and you guys should too.
I
Stay
look forward to
tuned.
it.
Keep checking the website. All right. So let's see what else. So are there any wrestlers that you are scared to be in the ring with? Any wrestlers that really intimidate you?
I mean, you have to say Laxadartha. He's probably the most intimidating man on the roster.
Oh yeah, yeah. I interviewed him once, and I legit peed myself a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
He can do that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. And like his whole, like, when he comes in and he's like upside down on the turnbuckles there, like, I don't know, man, that's scary. I don't want to be next to, and you're in the ring with him.
Sometimes he gets right in my face. And I have to kind of stand up for myself if I can.
That would be so scary. Yeah, and even when I did that interview with Lack, like, Ramon Carlton was standing between us, and I was still super scared. So I get that. Yeah. So what is we kind of maybe touched on this a little bit. What's like the craziest thing you've ever seen in the ring?
Oh, probably Rad Dad on the ladder.
Yeah,
back in Souk.
That
was probably the scariest thing also I've seen in the ring, for sure.
For sure. I was there that night, yeah, and yeah, I was
Oh, me too.
I was terrified. I was very concerned he was going to hurt himself, but he didn't. And what a great match that turned out to be. But yeah,
Indeed.
I get you. That was probably the craziest thing I've seen too.
Yeah.
For sure. So let's see what else. Okay, so if you were a wrestler, and you talked about how when you were a kid you wanted to be a wrestler, did you ever think about like what your finishing move would be?
I haven't thought about that for a while. But I might have to steal one from the higher ups here, and I would have to say I would go with the pedigree.
A pedigree? I have no idea what that is. So I'm gonna have to look that up.
We'll have to look that up. Yeah.
Can you somewhat describe it? Is there a way to describe? I would say like do it on me, but I don't think that's appropriate.
No,
so.
I don't think that's appropriate
Yeah.
either. Generally, you put your opponents. You can kick them in the gut to have them bend over.
Okay.
And then you take your leg between your legs, or take their head and put it between their legs.
Okay.
You hook both arms underneath, so their arms are up behind their back.
Okay, yeah.
And then you just jump up and down onto your knees.
Until they die.
Well, once, generally.
Okay, and then that's all it takes. They're not coming back from that?
Hopefully.
Okay. The pedigree.
A pedigree.
I'm going to definitely check it out because I want to see what this looks like in action.
You
Because
should.
I'm thinking like I could maybe use that as a self-defense move too. Sounds like something might be a thing I could do. Maybe. All right. So let me ask you this. So refs don't have walkout music, which is kind of an oversight, I think, a little bit. But like, if you had walkout music, what would you want your walkout song to be?
Oh boy. Probably something from the 80s rock, maybe 80s glam metal, somewhere in there,
Yeah,
I would say.
80s glam metal. I like where you're going with that.
Anything in there really would probably be For
Love
me,
it.
anyway.
Love it. Love it. I can totally see that. I could totally see that. You've got the hair for it.
Yes.
For sure. Which,
Thank
actually,
you.
I should ask, there's some competing mullets in 365. How do you feel your mullet rates compared to, say, I don't know, Josh Cadwell, for example?
Yes, Josh, he has a very curly mullet,
He does.
where mine is more straight.
It is.
Um,
And more blonde, too.
More blonde, yeah, that's true.
So it's maybe apples and oranges.
Pretty much, yeah, but I didn't realize we were competing. But
I mean,
if that's the case, then I'm going to keep the hair secrets to myself. Because
ah,
I overheard his interview, and
you picked up some tips.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I think that's a smart move. That's a very smart play. You've clearly got the long game in mind, so I have a lot of respect for that. All right, so we've got a few more questions here, for sure. Well, a few-ish. And these are some fan favorite questions here. So what is your favorite era of professional wrestling?
Oh, Attitude Era. Easy.
Attitude? Yeah.
Easy. Attitude Era. It
And
was great.
Why? Can you tell? I mean, it's obvious,
It was
but tell
chaotic and out of control. It was a
Indeed.
new stage in wrestling. It was something new and fresh, and turned more into an entertainment side of things than
Cool.
what it was before.
I love it. That's a great answer. That is a great answer. All right, so we're gonna switch away from kind of some wrestling questions into some more like personal questions, like who are you, Ref Ronnie? Who are you? So, and this is probably the most important question of the entire interview, quite frankly. Are you more of a Star Trek guy or more of a Star Wars guy?
Well, when I was younger, I was more into the Star Trek. As I got older, I dabbled into the Star Wars. I like them both. I think they're both great shows, and yeah,
Awesome.
I like them both.
Yeah, I like them both too, but for like completely different reasons, right? Right? What was the first Star Wars movie you ever saw in the theater?
In the theater?
Or that was released?
In the theater it was Phantom of the Menace. It was
Phantom
Star
Menace?
Wars 1 was the first one.
Oh, I feel
Well, that's what I saw in theaters. But
Yeah.
I did see the trilogy.
obvious. The
the
original
prequels
trilogy.
before that
Yeah,
was-
so good, so good. And so what's your favorite Star Trek series?
Next Generation. would be-
Next Gen, so good. Love it so much. Yeah, that's probably my favorite too. I feel like we could maybe have a Star Trek / Star Wars marathon sometime, you and I. Maybe if you wanted to hang out, because I'm new here and I'm just trying to make friends,
Yeah, maybe.
So okay, well,
We'll see.
we'll see.
If I'm not busy.
He didn't say no. All right. So next question. Do you like pineapple on your pizza? Like if we were going to have a marathon and we were going to order some pizza, would you want some pineapple on it?
No.
No, that's a hard no from you?
That's a no.
Okay, well that's all I need to know. What about tattoos? Do you have any tattoos?
Actually, I do not have any tattoos.
If you could get a tattoo, what would you get?
That's the question, right?
Yeah, you've thought about it, I'm sure.
I've thought about it many times, but I do bounce around through a lot of different things. It's hard to say what I would get.
If I gave you $1,000 right now,
Oh.
and I said you got to go get a tattoo right now, what would you put on you?
Maybe Bowser. Bowser from Super Mario.
Oh,
Get
wow! So you're a bit of a gamer then too.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I like the old Mario games.
Me too. I'm a big fan of the old Mario.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. All right. So, do you have any questions for me, Ref Ronnie? Because I'm new.
How are you liking it so far?
I love it.
That's great.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. But it seems like some of the wrestlers don't like me very much.
I get that rub too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like we could bond over that. Seems like we bond over a few things. Let's go get a tattoo. We'll go have a Star Wars marathon. Have some pizza without pineapple. Be fun.
We'll see. I'll
Very
see if
useful.
I have room in my calendar.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very busy.
Hey, Ronnie Hiebert!
Karen.
I'm so excited to see you.
good to see you too.
Yeah, this is so great. So,
Awesome.
of course, Ronnie Hiebert is a member of the 365
Commentary team.
commentary
Heck
team,
yeah.
broadcast team, which is so awesome. I love the commentary. I've had my hand out
Thank
a
you.
couple
Thank
times,
you.
but
Yes, yes.
I get very nervous, and I love watching you do it because it's gives me some tips all the time. But I wanted to ask, what is the most difficult part of doing the commentary?
Oh, probably like staying on your toes, like keeping the conversation going, right? You want to keep the audience involved, right? And you want to let them know what's going on in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to
That's
know
pretty
the
much.
names of all the moves.
All the moves,
and
most of the moves, all the wrestlers. Yeah, you do your best, right? And then take some notes down maybe for next time.
Yeah.
Next time, and yeah, you can improve every time you come on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is some great advice. I will definitely take that for sure. So, whenever I see you, or a lot of times when I see you, you always have like this Subway sandwich in your arms. And I was wondering, what is your go-to Subway sandwich?
Oh, go-to Subway sandwich. I love the steak and cheese. Steak and cheese is delicious.
Yes.
You get that with most of the fixings on there.
Yeah, you
Little
got to load
Chipotle.
all that up. Yeah, Chipotle's your sauce? Nice. I love me some good Chipotle.
Just
too.
pepper though, no salt. There's already enough salt on it.
Yes. Yes. Black pepper's where it's at.
That's right.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling you were a steak and cheese man, but I just wanted to confirm that. And so I just got one more question for you. And this is one that's a little more on a personal level, because
right,
we're
all right.
buds and
Yeah.
I'm new here.
Uh-huh.
Why do the wrestlers all seem like they, hate me so much?
Oh. They hate my brother too, but
Yeah, Ref Ronnie.
yeah, he's liked by a few of them, but anyway, why do all the wrestlers hate you? I don't think they hate you. You're just still new, right?
Oh.
You're here new. They're just
Are they,
haven't
like,
gotten to know you
hazing
yet.
me?
They might be hazing you a little bit.
Okay,
I mean, I get
alright.
a little bit too as well, but yeah.
Maybe they're treating me a
just-
little bit like a little sister or
Yeah,
something. There.
Maybe, yeah. Just keep going. They'll eventually crack, I'm sure.
I appreciate that advice, and I will definitely take that because, I love all these guys. So I'm just like fangirling every time I'm around, every show I go to. It's
I don't
so
blame
awesome.
you. I don't
Yeah,
blame you.
right?
Yeah. So these guys are pretty cool.
They really are. All right. So thank you so much,
Oh, you're welcome.
Ronnie Hiebert, for
Yeah.
popping in for a couple questions.
No
Your
problem.
fans
Thank
want to
you.
know a little bit more about you. So
That's awesome.
absolutely. All right. Well, that is it for me this week. I am Karen the Intern, and this has been another episode of Karen About Wrestling.
Perfect.